Hi, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to insert, update, and delete records in SQL. So I've got SSMS up and running, and I'm connected to my Henry Books. Henry Books is copyrighted to Philip Pratt in his Guide to SQL book. I just use it to demonstrate my SQL. So it's kind of, what I want to do is I want to insert data into my Henry Books table. So let me create a quick ER diagram here, in case you're not familiar. So I've got author, book, and wrote, and publisher. All right, so I don't have any relationships set up in these tables yet. No big deal. Essentially what I've got is I've got this scenario. Book joins the publisher. Wrote is a junction between book and author. So I'll join author number to author number. And I'll join book code to book code. All right, so there's our structure. If I want to add a book, I need to make sure that I've got a publisher. I need to make sure that the author's there, and then I could add the book, the wrote, and the author. So the book I'm going to add is a book called Flutter in Action. It's a Manning Press book. So I need to create a publisher, I need to create an author, I need to build the data. So I'm going to go back to my query. Make sure that my field isn't there. If I could spell today, it'd be great. So I'm still a master, that's why I make it say Henry. Make sure Manning Press isn't in there. Don't want to add it twice. Must be pub name. Yeah, publisher name. Okay, good. It's not there. That was a lot more work than I had to do. The syntax for insert into is the following. Insert into table values and then field list. You can also modify this a little bit. If you don't want to insert all the data, you can list the fields you want. And then values. The perk of the second one is if you don't have all the data, you can just sort it. Also, you can change the order in which the data goes in depending on how you get it. I'm going to use the top one primarily. So I need to create the Manning Press. Certain publisher values. And I need a primary key of publisher code. MN's not in there. I checked already. Manning Press. And I'm going to say they're in Shelter Island. Run it. Boom, I've inserted into the table. Now again, on my ER diagram, I have this done, so I theoretically can build a book now. But I can't build wrote until I've author, so I'm going to build the author first. Whenever you're inserting data into relationships, you always need to insert into the junction table first. So go back to my query. The author's name is Eric Miller. Shrink this down a little bit. There we go. Insert into author. Values. And again, you need a primary key. So I don't know what the biggest number is. Let's find out. So I'm going to use max to get the biggest number for my author number. It's 25, so my next number is going to be 26. In reality, I'd have some way to manage that with a trigger or a sequence, but I don't have it here. So 26, guy's name is Windmill Eric. Execute, boom, he's in. And now I need to add the book with the publish code, and then I'll add wrote here with the author number and the boat. So the order is book code, book title, publisher, data type, and book code, or paperback. If you weren't sure, take a look at your structure and put it in the order. So I'm going to make up a book code, call it short for Flutter, comma separate. I'm going to purposely mess this one up so you can see what happens when you make a mistake. Okay, so I'm going to intentionally forget paperback. I'm going to execute this. It's going to sell column name or number of supplied values does not match the definition. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you just missed a column there. All right. If you have foreign keys, primary key relationships built on this, whatever's in this has to exist up in primary or up in publisher. I think that'll fail. I hope it does. It did not. It's great. So I didn't want to do that. So let me fix that. So I screwed up Flutter in action. I did AA instead of MN. So I'm going to update it. Update is a command that does exactly what you want. It allows you to change what's in a field. So I'm going to say update book. I'm going to set publish code equal to. Now be very careful. If I run this, I just change every book in the table to be publish code MN. So I'm going to set it equal to Flutter. So now I fixed my correction, or fixed my mistake. Boom, it's MN. Okay, so I've created the book. I've updated and fixed my problem. And now let's add it to rotes. If I look at rotes, I need the book code, which I have of FLUT. I need the author number, which is 26. I need a sequence. I'm not entirely sure what the sequence is, so I'll just use 1. Even though 26 is a number, SQL will allow you to put it in single quotes here. It's one of the things I like about SQL. If you don't know the data type, just put in strings, it'll figure it out. So now I can prove it's all there. All right, so I went off camera a little bit there, and I finished in my SQL query. Run it. I get everybody back. I must have screwed up a join somewhere. Yeah, book publish code equal book publisher code. Now it should be clean. And here it is, Flutter in action, Manning Press, Eric Windmill. All right, so it worked. Okay, so you've insert, and you've seen the insert that will allow you to solve a problem with any type of table setup where you have a whole bunch of foreign key, primary key relationships. All right, so let's make a couple other changes. Let's start from book. I currently have the type of SFI here. I want to change that to SFY. It sounds cooler. Again, I'm going to use update book. I'm going to set the field column. And again, if I run that, the entire table gets blown up. There are times you might want that. I'll show you that here in a minute. And then I will put a where clause here. They're all SFYs now. There are no more SFIs. So this allows me to go through and make changes. Imagine if you had 100,000 records. You had to make all those changes. That's awesome. Now, I said there are times you want to do all this. I'm going to add a column to book. All right, so I'm going to modify my book table and add a website. Every book has a website. Every author has a website, right? This will add a column of type varchar to each one of my books. So I execute this. Alter changes that table. If I were to refresh book over here, it has a website in there. If I were to select the website, it's going to be empty. No. So I don't want it to be empty. So an insert, or an update rather, something like that. Now it says a no address. And as people come along and figure out what these websites are, I could do the following. I do not know if this is a real website or not. Please don't visit it. Now it's yelling at me here because of IntelliSense. Just refresh local cache. Solves that problem. Usually. There we go. I'll update the book. I'll run this. There it is. If you make a mistake on update, there's really no easy way to recover. You're going back and fixing the data. Last thing you worry about is delete. Let's add an author. Uh, 27 is the next number. I'm going to add me. Oh, I forgot values. It's one of those things. If I had $1 every time I did, I would never have to work. So I'm in there. I look at my author table. You're definitely seeing me in there now. I'm in number 27. No surprise. For whatever reason, you want to get rid of this particular author. Maybe he violated some rule or he offended you. The delete command. Now be really careful. If you just run this, you wipe out author. It eliminates everything. It's like truncate table, same concept. It nukes everything else. So this will delete me from the database. I'm gone. All right, so you've seen how to insert, update, and delete from tables. You've also quickly seen an alter table. We'll do more of that as we move forward in the class. But you should be good to go. Thanks, guys. Good luck.